Hello, Senior 2. Now we're going to study a new lesson. Our lesson today about the circulatory system. Circulatory system consists in human, consists of the main three parts. First one, heart, number two, blood vessels, and through which the blood can pass through the blood vessels. So circulatory system consists of three parts: heart, blood vessels, and blood. And in our lesson today, we will know about the informations about each one of them, more explanation. First part about heart, Heart, the first or the muscular pump that can pump the whole blood to all body parts, The total amount of blood inside your body about 5 to 6 liters, So the heart pump those blood to all body parts, The heart is hollow muscular organ, so it's a muscle, nearly in the middle of the chest cavity, inside the chest cavity at mid. It includes in pericardium. Pericardium is a membrane that surrounds the heart from all parts to protect it and can facilitate its pumping action. The heart divided into 4 chambers, upper and lower. Upper chambers are named by auricles or atria, while the lower one named by ventricles, So the 2 atria, upper 2 chambers with the thin walls, receive blood from veins. So veins pour their blood in 2 atria. Number 2, 2 ventricles. The lower 2 chambers with the thick muscular walls, those pump blood through arteries, so their blood are pumped, So auricles receive blood while ventricles pump blood. The heart is divided longitudinally into 2 sides by means of muscular walls, left and right. Each atrium is connected to its own ventricle through an opening, The meaning or the name of this opening, is named by valve. The goal or the function of valve to guard this position, to let the blood to move in one direction and prevent the back of blood ward again to the last point. The right valve, right valve, the valve that's located between the right atrium upper and the right ventricle lower, is named by tricuspid valve. It's made up of 3 flaps, 3 parts between the right atrium and the right ventricle in one direction, but not in reverse direction. So this is the work of all valves that let blood to move in one direction and prevent it to back in reverse direction. The second one is the left valve that is located between left atrium upper and left ventricle lower, and named by bicuspid valve or mitral valve. It's similar to structure and action, but it consists only of 2 flaps, not 3 like the tricuspid valve. There are semi-lunar valve. Semi-lunar valve, meaning of semi, it is not completely lunar, not completely circular, but half lunar or half circular valve at the connection of the heart with both arteries that get out from the 2 ventricles. The left ventricle aorta get out, while the right ventricle pulmonary artery get out. The rhythmic heartbeats are spontaneous as they are originated from the cardiac tissue. So the heart is muscle, and the type of its muscle, cardiac muscle. Cardiac muscle originates its pulse. So tissue life, it has been proven that the heart continues beating regularly even after it has been disconnected from the body and cardiac nerves. So the heart can complete its continuous pumping, after removing all connection from nerves and any connector to the heart. The heart beats regularly throughout the whole lifetime due to the presence of two muscular nodes. Muscular nodes, a group of muscular fibers that are buried in the right atrium. Yes, first one, sinoatrial node. This is the first node, muscular node, that's buried in the right atrium wall. Second one, atrioventricular node, that is present between the left atrium and left ventricle. Number one, sinoatrial node is bundle of thin cardiac muscular fibers buried in right atrial wall, as I said, near to the connection between the right atrium auricle and the large veins. Large veins, the vena cava veins, superior and inferior one. This node, its role is regulate the rate of beats, 70 beats per minute, the normal rate. It's connected to two nerves that decrease the rate of heartbeats, and another one nerve that increase the rate of heartbeats. Heartbeats rate differ according to a lot of factors. First one, according to your psychic state, according to your exercise state. If you are in sleep or sad, the amount or the rate of heartbeats will be decreased, and vice versa. If you are enjoying or working, the amount or the rate of heartbeats will increase. Second node, atrioventricular node, located at the junction between atria and ventricle. Mechanism of heartbeats. First, sinoatrial node send impulses over to atria, which are stimulated to contract. So the first one, sinoatrial node, the first that send impulses, origin impulses. Electric impulses reach to the atrioventricular node, and also the impulses will spread rapidly through special fibers is named by His fibers. His fiber is located between the septum of the two ventricles, left and right ventricles. So it will stimulate their contraction. Sound of the heartbeats. We can distinguish two types of sounds. First one, lob. Second one, dub. First one, lob. Lob is long and low pitched. Long but low pitched. This is due to closing. Both of them, due to closing. First one, closing word, two valves between atria and ventricles. Yes. Closing two valves between atria and ventricles during, it's very important, ventricular contraction. While the another one, dub, short and high pitched. So it's a high pitched sound can be heard easily due to closing of aortic and pulmonary valves. So here the two measure arteries valve. When they are closed, the sound of short and high pitched sound can be heard by dub. If the normal age of the heartbeats by the normal rate of heartbeats 70 beats per minute, and pump 5 liters of blood each time. The blood vessels. Blood vessels, so the connected between blood and heart. We have blood vessels that carry the blood to and from heart to all body parts and to heart and vice versa. The blood vessels can be differentiated into first one, arteries. Arteries are wide vessels that carry blood from the heart to other organs of the body. So arteries carry blood from heart, is very important, to away of the heart, all body parts, to lung, anything. Okay, so artery, okay, carry blood from heart. Okay, while another one, vein will deliver blood to heart, pour blood in heart. Structure. Arteries consist of three main tissues: outer layer, middle layer, and the inner layer. Outer layer is connective tissue. Middle layer is involuntary muscles, so here it can contract and relax to help the continuous possibility of blood passage, which contract and relax, and then control of nerve fibers. So here in middle layer we have also nerve fibers that deliver the impulses to the involuntary muscles and stimulate to contract and relax to help the blood to move through the artery. Okay, this artery, the outer layer is connective layer, okay, and the second layer is elastic layer, a smooth muscle or involuntary muscle, and the third one is inner layer. Inner layer is epithelial layer that contain also some type of fibers to help in the elasticity of the artery. Okay, while here in vein you can compare easily between them, okay, in structure, smooth muscles present also, but in a decreased amount. Okay, inner layer also present. Here valve present in vein and absent in artery is very important, and very important question in exam. Okay, so this is main points between artery and vein. Let's complete our lesson. Inner layer is named by endothelium, which consists of one row of epithelium and elastic fiber. Elastic fiber is very important because artery receives blood from heart, okay, and heart pump it in a strongly way. To can stand this pump, okay, and this strong or violent movement, okay, have to contain elastic fibers to keep its elasticity. The type of blood inside arteries, all arteries carry oxygenated blood except the pulmonary artery that carry deoxygenated blood or carboamino blood. Arteries are buried between muscles of the body, so it cannot seen easily by your eyes. Number 2, veins. Veins are vessels that carry blood to the heart. Walls of the veins are composed of same 3 layers, okay, but there is less elastic fiber in the third layer in endothelium. Middle layer is less thick, so the amount of muscles less. Accordingly, the wall of the vein is thinner than that of the artery and doesn't pulsate. This is very important. Can't pulsate, can't impulse. Vein, why can't impulse? Because it's the way of the heart, okay? While artery can impulse or can pulsate because near of the heart. Veins carry deoxygenated blood, all but except pulmonary also vein that open in left atrium and they carry oxygenated blood. Number of veins possesses a system of internal valve along their lengths. Okay, so not all, but some veins contain internal valves to allow the blood in only one direction. Okay, and against gravity prevent the backflow of the blood. So the valves here, okay, like valves inside heart, work the same function. Side of these valves can be observed in the arm veins. By tying your arm, okay, or leg, you can see these veins clearly when the arm is tied tightly with a bandage above the elbow. This was done by William Harvey. William Harvey, English doctor who discovered the blood circulation in 17th century. Okay, before preceded by Ibn al-Nafis in 10th century. The capillaries, their walls are very thin, consist of only one layer, not three layers as artery and veins. Okay, consist of only of endothelium or epithelial cell. It's very thin, tiny pores between them. The whole capillary is about 0.1 micron thick, which facilitates quick exchange of substances between the blood and the tissue cell. So here the role of its rule about capillaries by diffusion. Okay. Capillaries are tiny microscopic vessels which connect the arterioles with the venules. This fact was discovered by Malpighi. So Malpighi, the Italian scientist, in the end of 17th century, thus he completed the work of Harvey. The average of diameter of capillaries range between 7 to 10 microns. So you can see clearly here is very thin, can distribute between the tissues of the cells. Capillaries spread in the spaces between cells all over the body tissue. Capillaries reach all the body cells and supply them with their requirement. So the blood capillaries here branchiated from artery or vein. If it branchiated from artery, it will name by arteriole. If it branchiated from vein, it will name by venules. Both of them carry blood and food or waste, okay, according to its position, maybe arteriole, okay, or venules. If all capillaries in the human body were put end to end, their overall length would be about 80,000 kilometers. I think you can imagine. They are very long. Blood. Blood is liquid tissue. Tissue is connective tissue, as you studied before in senior 1. It contains red blood cells, white blood cells, and blood platelets. The fluid, okay, that connect those body is named by plasma. Okay, blood plasma. Blood is principal medium in the process of transport, so it's a medium to transport the substances or the nutrients from one part to another part. It's viscous, red liquid, weakly alkaline, the pH about 7.4. The human body contains from 5 to 6 liters, about 5 to 6 liters blood average. Components of blood. Blood consists first one of the liquid part, plasma. Plasma is about 54 of blood volume, contain 90% of its volume water, 1% is inorganic salts as calcium, sodium, bicarbonate, 7% proteins as albumin, globulin, and fibrinogen, 2% about other components as absorbed food as sugar, amino acids, hormones, enzymes, antibiotics, and wastes as urea. Number 2, red blood cells or erythrocytes. Red blood cells are the most abundant blood cell because they contain a huge number. They are about 4 up to 5 million cells per millimeter cube in males, 4 up to 4.5 million cells per millimeter cubed in females. So it's a number or average between 4 to 5. Each is destroyed after 120 days. Okay, its age 120 days. They circulate about 172,000 circulations. They are produced in bone marrow, so it's originated from bone marrow. Bone marrow is a flat bones or the flat surface of the large bones inside your body, like skull, like shoulder, like femur. Okay, they are round in shape. Their shape is round, biconcave, and enucleated. Is very important, so it cannot make a cell division. The shape of the red blood cells whilst flowing inside blood vessels. They contain hemoglobin. It's very important protein. Hemoglobin protein, okay, is protein conjugated with iron, which give the blood its red color. Inside the two lungs, hemoglobin combined with oxygen, okay, by gas exchange from hemoglobin, and its color will be pale red or oxyhemoglobin, okay, that carry oxygen to different parts of the body. White leave oxygen and unite with carbon dioxide to form dark red carboxyhemoglobin or carboaminohemoglobin. So the venous blood is darker than the arterial blood according to the type of blood that flew through them. Red blood cells are destroyed in liver, spleen, and bone marrow. Okay, liver, spleen, and bone marrow. The protein in the hemoglobin are used in formation of bile. So it's very important to be distracted inside the liver, because liver is a source of bile juice, and bile juice is made by liver from the destructive red blood cells. Number 2, white blood cells or leukoplasts or leukocytes. They are about 7,000 cells per millimeter cubes and increase during diseases. They are colorless and nucleated. Its age about 13 to 20 days and continuously formed in bone marrow, spleen, and lymphatic system. There are different types of leukocytes, each with a specific function. The main function of white blood cell is prevent or protection of the body against the microbial cells, infection of diseases. They circulate continuously inside the blood vessels, attack foreign, engulf the foreign bodies, and destroy them, okay, and engulf them. After destruction, they engulf them to be analysis. Some of them produce antibodies, okay, and you know later in Senior 3 in details about the immune system and the role of white blood cells. Blood platelets, they are very small in size, okay, about 1/4 of red blood cells, so its size is small. It is not a cell, but it's fragments only, okay, enucleated and live for about 10 days only. They are about 250,000 cells per millimeter cubed, so the huge amount of cell inside blood. They are after red blood cells, okay. They are produced in bone marrow. They play a role in blood coagulation or blood clotting. You can see here the role of blood platelets, okay, in wounding of bleeding or any wounds. Function of blood: transport. Number 2, control the process of metabolism. Number 3, protect the body. Number 1, transport digestive food substance together with oxygen, carbon dioxide, so it can transport gases and food, wastes, hormones, enzymes, and everything. Number 2, control process of metabolism. Without the enzymes, without its temperature, without its pH, the metabolism will stop. So it regulates the internal environment or homeostasis, such as osmotic potential. Number 3, protect the body against microbes by white blood cells and pathogenic organisms through immunity involving the lymphatic system. Number 4, protect the blood itself against bleeding by formation of blood clotting. Blood clotting or blood clot: when blood vessel is cut, blood soon form a clot to prevent the bleeding before it leads to death. The mechanism of blood clotting: number 1, when blood becomes exposed to air or friction with rough surface such as damaged vessels and cells, the blood platelets form together with the destroyed cell. The first product from their union, first protein, thromboplastin. In presence of calcium and the blood clotting factors, okay, the plasma thromboplastin activate conversion of another type of protein, prothrombin, to active protein, active thrombin. Prothrombin formation occur in the liver, okay, so the origin of prothrombin, okay, from liver by the aid of vitamin K. Thrombin, being an active enzyme, catalyzes the conversion of fibrinogen, the soluble protein inside plasma, into fibrin. Fibrin is an insoluble protein, which is form. Fibrin precipitate as a network of microscopic interlacing fiber, so the blood cell aggregate into this, forming a clot which blocks the hole is damaged blood vessel. In this way, bleeding will stop. Blood pressure. Blood is a viscous liquid, so it's so hard to move easily inside the blood vessels. It circulates within the arteries and veins smoothly by the process of heartbeats. So the rule or the thing that help it to circulate easily and smoothly inside vessels by heartbeats. But to pass within microscopic blood capillaries, it need pressure, because blood capillaries very thin, so face resist inside it. The largest blood pressure is measured in arteries nearer to the heart. The maximum blood, okay, sugar near to heart. Blood pressure is measured as the ventricles contract and minimum as ventricle relax. The blood pressure is measured by means of an instrument is named by mercury instrument or sphygmomanometers. Its reading consists of two numbers, okay, the higher number and the lower number, or higher reading and lower reading. Higher reading is 120, the lower reading is 80 millimeter Hg or mercury, which is the normal value at youth. The two measurements represent the blood pressure as the ventricles contract and relax. So 120 is resemble the ventricles wide contraction, while 80 represent the heart ventricles wide relaxation. Measurements of blood pressure at other various points along the arteries show progressive decrease. Blood pressure in the veins is very low, about only 10 millimeter Hg or mercury. The very low blood pressure in the vein is not sufficient to move blood back to the heart. So, okay, so this pressure is very low, cannot back the blood again to the heart. When the skeletal muscle near the veins contract, they put pressure on the collapsible wall of the vein and the blood contained in this vessels. Veins have valves that prevent the black flow. So the flow of blood inside veins, okay, by help of two things. First one, the skeletal muscles that surround the veins and act not impulses, but contraction and relaxation that dynamic work on the two or the walls of the veins. And second one, the valve that present inside the vein. The blood pressure increases gradually by aging, and it must be under medical control to avoid its harmful effect. The value of blood pressure are determined by listening to the heartbeats. When the ventricles contract, okay, the upper reading, the doctor can listen to the heartbeat, while as the ventricle relax, sound will disappear. The blood pressure can be measured when the heart beats also between one beat and another. There are some digital instruments, but it's not accurate like the mercury one. Thank you and goodbye in next lesson.